Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Snack Time with Mack and Ash, part of the Be Heard podcast platform, the show where we talk to interesting people about their lives, their dreams, and their snack obsessions. I'm your co-host, Mack Over the Third, and joining me, as always, is my co-host, the snack queen, Ashley Haystone. Ashley, how are you doing?
I just want to address that you called me a snack queen and not the self-proclaimed snack queen. So
it was written in the script, and I didn't have time to go in and edit it before, so.
And that's why we're friends. I'm doing okay, I'm 2020, baby, Hey, you didn't mention it's our Halloween episode, dude. You didn't wish me a happy quarantine ween. I was trying to make a pun. That didn't work.
Well, yeah, you see, I was easing into it, but you've just decided to go ahead and announce it. So, yes, as Ashley said, this is our Halloween episode. And despite the intro I just gave, we are guestless for this episode. It's just Ashley and me. As I said, we will have episodes where it's just the two of us talking about random stuff. And it just so happens that this episode drops very close to Halloween. So we figured we'd talk about that. And it's funny that we're talking about Halloween because it's 2020. Is there even really going to be a Halloween as it typically is?
Halloween is always going to happen. It's in your heart. It's a mindset. It's a lifestyle. Mac.
I don't know what kind of lifestyle you've been leading. Halloween's never been one of those mandatory holidays for me. It's all, it's like the holidays that you have to celebrate, Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, and that kind of stuff. I've lost the Halloween spirit a little bit as I've gotten older, and which is funny because you're older than me, so how would I have lost it before you? I have no idea.
Don't talk about my age on this podcast. No one needs to know.
No, I think the people do need to know.
I am a very young looking 26-year-old. No, but I think we all celebrate Halloween very differently. Like, as I gotten older, like a bowl of candy in a horror movie is like all I need, and then ignore all the trick-or-treaters who are banging on my door for candy. I'm like, this is for me.
Yeah, well, I think it's going to be one of those years where how when you run out of candy and when you're giving out candy for Halloween, and you have to print a sign out and put it on the door like, sorry, we're out of candy. Please go away. I think it's going to be one of those years for me and my family here. We don't need to be taking the risk of inviting people knocking on the front door constantly. So
I can just imagine you doing that, though, every year, even like before COVID. We don't have no candy. Get out.
Well, it's funny because in the community we live in, when we moved out here, nobody told us about how, busy Halloween was. So the first year we ran out of candy before 8:30 because, since we're a commuter town, in Plumas Lake, they bus children in from the surrounding neighborhoods. So yeah, you're going to be handing out a lot of candy. Like my dad actually went to Walgreens to pick up more candy because we were running out. He got home, put the candy he bought in the box that we were, handing it out from, and we ran out of that candy in half an hour. So the kids out here,
yeah.
Well, I wouldn't go as far as nice, but I'd say more. We're followers, Everybody's doing it. We're not going to be the family that's like, hey, no candy for you.
These kids sound like hustlers. They sound ruthless. Like, I would be terrified.
I don't know if it's ruthless. It's just the pure numbers of them. There's just a lot of them out there. And yeah, it seems never ending when you're giving out candy. Like you hand out the candy at the door and then you go and sit down on the couch, you're watching something. And then 5 seconds later, there's another knock. And it's like, come on, just sat down.
Thank God for the pause button. And you can record. You can pause live TV now.
Yeah, it's especially become a trouble because, there's been live sports happening on Thursday. For the past couple of years, there's been Thursday night football. And it's like, I want to watch football as I'm doing stuff, especially when Halloween falls on a Thursday like it did a couple years ago.
It falls on a Saturday, right?
I believe it does fall on a Saturday this year. Yeah.
I wonder, like, it.
Yep. Saturday.
Oh God, I feel bad for all like the club goers. Like I used to love going out like during like I didn't know this until I got older, but I guess like the adult Halloween is usually the weekend before Halloween because it always lands on like a weekday. And it was just so fun to just be around like adults just in I don't know, hanging out with like a tiger lady and like a devil, I don't know, and just walking around downtown and just people are just drunk in costumes. It was fantastic. Man, I saw so many mistakes and I was like, "Ooh,
How many mistakes did you commit?
let's not go there." Let's not. You don't need to know. I'm just gonna say plenty.
Hmm. I've never really been one for parties. Although I haven't really been invited to them, so I guess I can't really say that.
I'm hella awkward at parties. Like I'm just like, "Hi, I'm Ashley. I do this, and what do you do? Oh, okay, bye."
Well, I don't understand. You said you're weird, but you were just as you were just talking like you normally were. So I don't understand what the
It's
difference is.
it's so awkward to keep a conversation at a especially a Halloween party because, like, I don't really dress up. I know I seem like a person that does, but I always regret not doing that, and I'm the awkward one just wearing a shirt, and everyone else is, like, all festive. But
You
as a
seem like the person that would put on a pair of cat ears and call it a costume and call it a day.
I feel offended, and yes, I've done that a few times. Mac has taken a moment to laugh his ass off, so I guess I'll continue this conversation. Well, like, speaking of Halloween, I find it like kind of interesting how people are kind of going about it this year. I mean, have you heard of like stories of people building like these long tubes and like they're like just shooting out candy, to trick or
Yeah,
treaters?
the candy shoots.
The candy shoot.
I'm not going through all that effort to build a candy shoot. I mean, come on now. That's just kind of ridiculous.
What if
I
you just
just think
throw the candy at this and then run away? 'Cause I thought about that.
I think we're walking a fine line between safe delivery of candy and assault on a minor. So
But it's safe because you're throwing it. Well, at least I can't throw 6 feet, but
I'd like to see you try. I think that'd be fun to see you fail to get 6 feet.
Yeah, I know. You really I think that's why people are friends with me so they can just feel better about themselves. They're like, "Well, at least I don't fail as hard as Ashley."
Well, yeah, it's a really great perk, honestly.
Oh my god.
It's
I we're speaking of 2020, but I wanna get back in our time machines, and I wanna know about, like, I wanna know about your experience handing out candy before all of this.
Well, I'd say it was a pretty normal experience. My parents got tired of handing out candy, and they said, "I'm old enough now, so I can man." Once you get old enough to answer the door, you take on a lot of responsibilities in the house.
Yes.
So I was the main. I am the main person handing out candy if I'm at the house on Halloween, and yeah, I have a very I'm very systematic about how I hand out my candy. The people with the costumes that I like get an extra piece. And I always try to hand out the same amount of candy just to like kind of ration it out because especially after that first year we ran out, I realized that we had to, restrain ourselves on how much candy we give out.
That's so funny. Like I feel bad to admit this, but I have done the same thing in the past. Like I have like a really embarrassing story. So I don't know what prompted my grandmother to do this, but I was about I want to say maybe like 10 years old. And after I was done trick or treating, my grandma was like, "Hey, you have to like handle the candy." And I'm like, "Oh shit." I want to just eat candy and that's it. And so, she hands me the candy bowl, but it wasn't really a candy bowl. It was a bedpan full of candy, and I was like, "What is this?" And she was like, "It's funny. I found it, like at the store, and I thought it was funny." And I'm like, every time I opened the door, here was my face, like, "Oh, this is disgusting," and like everyone just didn't want the candy from that candy bowl. They just kind of were like, we're good, fam, we're
Yeah,
out.
I've never had that experience. Never once have I seen somebody go, "Nah, I don't want any candy." So
Yeah, no, it was out of a toilet, and so what happened was, I remember it was out of
look,
a
man, it doesn't
toilet.
matter. When you're a kid, you'll take anything you can get. Really, I don't understand what those kids were talking about.
I know, it
It's
was good
wrapped, isn't
candy.
it?
Yeah, exactly, it was good candy too, like, my grandma, like, hooked it up that year. I was like, "Oh my god, there's Laffy Taffy in here," and then she'll hit my hand and be like, "No, not for you," and I'm like, "Oh, man."
I was
She
just gonna
yeah.
get into that. Like, what kind of candy provider are you? I know there's there was a picture going around a couple years ago on social media. It's like, are you the trusty provider? Do you give out, the main brands like Snickers and Reese's and Kit Kats, or are you the type of person to give to give out like butterscotch candies and Good and Plenty's, and or are you the person that's handing out dental floss?
Oh my god, whoever is handing out dental floss, they're canceled. That's it, you're canceled. If you even think about handing I think that's, like, so shitty. Kids don't floss their teeth, they barely even take a shower. Why in the hell are they gonna what are they gonna do with that? They're gonna throw it in the trash, like, you know what I mean? Like, I remember, I'll answer your question, but before that, I remembered this woman. I was so pissed as a kid. Here I am as a tiger princess with a tutu on and everything, right? I was like, I think 7 years old, and, I walk, up to this house that looked like had good candy because it got good decorations. Usually that's a plus. That's like, "Oh, yeah, I'm gonna get some good candy." No, no, in fact, it was this old lady with a bowl of pennies, and she gave one to me, and I was furious. I was like, "No, ma'am. Thank you so much for this deceit," you know? Like, I had it was horrible. It was awful, and then my grandma made me march back up there and get the damn penny because I had such a fit.
Why are you handing out pennies? Like,
Like,
are you
because
just
they hate
saying
their
you hate
lives.
children and you hate fun?
Yeah, that's exactly who they are. That they're the same people like the dental floss people, okay? They hate their lives, they hate children, and they wanna see the world burn, and that's who they are, okay? Like, I'm sorry, you can tell
Okay,
I'm
well,
very upset.
speaking on behalf of some people that want to watch the world burn, I give out candy. Like, I try to make sure we have decent candy to give out.
I know, I'm
I've You're shocked by that?
yep.
No,
You seem like
I've
a candy
always
hoarder. Like, you just hoard
nah.
all that candy.
Well, okay, we do when we buy the Halloween candy, we do always make sure there is a separate bag
Yes,
for us.
you have to.
So yeah. So when you get the bags of good candy, the ones that's got the Skittles and the Snickers and all the big name candy bars, the good ones, except for Milky Way. But we always make sure to buy an extra bag on the side just to have for us to eat, in case the candy runs out, which sometimes it does. But last year, I remember we had a Sam's Club membership, and
Woo.
Sam's Club had these gigantic bags of candy for $20. So I bought like three, like, hey, we're gonna need it because of all those kids. And we used 1.5 bags and we were stuck eating that candy for 3 months afterwards.
I could just even though I know that you're old enough, like, your mom makes your lunch or whatever, and then you open your bag, just a bag of candy.
I was taking it to school. Like, I just grab a handful and put it in my backpack and take it to school.
Ultimate snack
Absolutely.
right there. I wanna answer your question. So it depends on who's paying. If listen
Here
here.
come the Necco wafers.
Okay, no, I'm not that bad. No, like, if I'm on a budget, like, I actually, to be honest, like, I never experienced buying candy. I always try to rely on my mother, my poor mom. I just suggest what candy she should get, because I want it later. So yeah, like me and my sister, who's 8 years old, she's amazing. I love her. We hatched a plan where, we are like, oh, we'll convince mom to get like the good candy and then we'll take it all and then leave, the bad candy. You know, like we're like, hey mom, get a bag of dum dums. And we people love those. And then also get the Snicker variety pack. And then we hoard it and then we eat it. Yeah, but my mom was like, "I'm not even buying candy this year, so you guys can, like, go suffer."
Wait a minute. So are you saying Dum Dums are on the lower end of the candy scale?
Oh, absolutely. Like, if I see a Dum Dum, I'm just like, "God damn it. Just buy Tootsie Rolls." Tootsie Roll Pops, excuse me. Alright, Mac's having a moment. During this podcast,
Hate
Mac is
Pixie
always gonna
Sticks
have moments.
and Dum Dums. It's
Yep.
unbelievable.
Well, hey, we gotta we'll get into that later, buddy.
It's
I heard
unbelievable.
you hating on Milk Crate.
Dum Dums are a top 10 lollipop. Maybe even top 5. Dum Dums are great, man.
I like the variety of flavors, except, man, I hate the mystery flavor. It's just I don't even know what the hell it is. I guess that's why it's a mystery. I get it. But I'm just like, what flavor is this?
It's always something tropical, like pineapple and grape mixed together.
Maybe that it's like
Mystery.
yeah. Mystery solved. Good job, Scooby-Doo.
We haven't really discussed this point, but as a kid, what was your preferred collection method? Like, did you have a bag or a pillowcase or like a jack-o'-lantern bucket to collect candy? What did you use?
It depends again on the financial uh growing up we were a little poor. So there was times where I got a hand me down jack or lantern. Wait, I don't know how to talk anymore, so excuse me. Pumpkin, the little pumpkin basket. There you go. Or we would
I
get a
like how you counted difficult, so you just gave up. You just gave up on the pronunciation.
Oh, yeah. I'll just say it another way. I went around it. I didn't give up completely. But anyway, if like push come to shove, like I'll just grab a pillowcase off my bed and that was it. Like, and I'm like, just fill it up because I'm gonna be eating this breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah, pillowcases are underrated. I think they hold a lot of candy. You gotta get the deep ones though, like the ones
Yeah.
for the big pillows.
Oh yeah, you gotta get like a really sturdy one too. You know what I mean? Like you gotta get like cotton quality.
I don't think that really matters, but
It matters to me. But, like, I wanna know, like, did you ever map out your candy route? Like, did you ever, like, meet up with your friends and be like, "We're gonna go to the rich neighborhoods and get those, like, full bar candy bars or whatever that everyone seems to get, but you don't ever see it?"
so I've never found the Holy Grail. I have not. But
You never
there
have?
is a person on my friends list who does give out full size candy bars, but only like to kids, like smaller kids, not like teens or anything like that.
Can you give me the
But
address later?
I don't
Well,
have it, but
I will find you on
um
Facebook.
no, I never found the house with full size candy bars. Also, I've only ever been trick or treating with friends a couple of times. So we never really mapped out the route. We just walked aimlessly from cul-de-sac to cul-de-sac and to every house up and down the block. Because we would go over to my friend's neighborhood where he lived, and we would trick or treat over there. And yeah, I mean, everybody there had they were a little more affluent than the neighborhood where I was living in. So they always were more along the trusty provider lines of candy. But no, I never found the Holy Grail, sad to say, and I never really planned out routes like that.
Like, for me, we would go to, like, my cousin's neighborhood sometimes, and she already had a map already out, you know? And, growing up, she would have stashes around the house, like, of, like, treats and candy and stuff, and she's like, "Look it." So we would, like, hoard all this candy and just sit there and eat it and get hecka hyper, and then we get yelled at because we won't shut up, but different story. But she would actually have, like, everything mapped out, so when we went, we knew where to go, and we were always like, "This house is gonna have a full candy bar," or, never did. I I just think it's a myth. I think or those little shits were lying to make me feel bad.
I don't think it's a myth. I think it's just extraordinarily rare. I've always wanted to be the house. Like I talked about it a couple times with my dad. Like we can be that legend house, the one that gives out the full size candy bars. But then we look at the price of buying all those full size candy bars, and that idea quickly gets scuppered.
Yeah, like even at Costco, like they actually sell like a big pack of like full size candy bars, but then when you look at the price, you're like, "Ooh." That's all you can
My
do in that aisle. Ooh.
my goal is to one day be that legend house that gives it out, but I have to be in the right financial state of mind to make that decision, and I haven't been in that position yet. One day, it's my goal.
That is, like, so motivational, and I too wanna be that legendary house. Like, so I watched Hocus Pocus. Yes, I'm basic. So I watched Hocus Pocus, and I was really excited because I love that movie, I love Halloween and blah, blah, blah. So, there's this part where the guy, he has the hots for, like, the rich, hot chick, you know? And so he goes to her house, and I love the first thing they do. They see this giant, I don't know, cauldron of candy. And the first, like, they didn't even say hi to anybody. They just looked in there, candy, and they just sink their hands in. And the girl's like, hi, and he's just like, oh, hey, but like, I want to be that house. I want a cauldron full of candy where kids are like, oh my God. Like, I want people to dive in there. Like, that would be my
Hmm.
dream.
I'm okay with keeping him at a distance.
Yeah,
What do
kids
you
are
what do you think about the people that set like the bowls of candy outside? It has the little signs that are like, just take one or two.
oh, honey, I took a handful. I'm not gonna lie. My
I
mom
think
would
I think
yeah.
we all failed that test, to
Oh,
be
yeah.
honest.
Oh, yeah, like, it kinda reminds me a little bit of, like, the marshmallow test, like, you get 1 marshmallow, then you have to wait, then you get 2, and I'm like, I don't know, I was a greedy little shit, like, I never got to have candy all the time, so when I did, I just I had to go for it, I'm sorry. You did this to yourself. And you know what, though? Those people though, here's the thing, they didn't leave good candy, it was always, like, bubble gum or butterscotch, so you're not really winning.
Hey, butterscotch is underrated.
I enjoy a butterscotch when it's in a bowl at an old lady's house. I get really excited about that.
Well, but I mean, you can understand why they would put it out for Halloween. If they already have it, then why not?
Yeah, they're just like, "Oh, what am I gonna do with all these bowls of butterscotch? Oh, I know, I'll just wait till Halloween and just put it all in one big bowl and set it outside and not deal with children." And I'm like, "Wow, that's a pretty good plan you got there, grandma."
What were some of the best or most memorable costumes you had as a kid?
Oh my god. I was a planner, I was like always like, "Mom, I wanna be this, I wanna be that." So, one day one day, sorry, one year I was Cher. I don't have photographic evidence of this, but I was Cher. I love Cher so much. I was, like, obsessed with her. She's the singer who sings,
If I could turn back
"Oh, we're
time.
gonna if I could find a way." Yeah. But she doesn't no, that was my spin on it. Oh, can we do a duet? I like that.
No.
Oh, okay. I got excited. I thought this podcast could have been like a little like karaoke time, but I guess not. My dreams are ruined. But oh, okay. I keep not answering your question. So I'm gonna say, so yeah, Cher. I was a tiger princess, not the tiger king. I was a tiger queen. And oh my god, I know I had like they're so basic. Like I was a vampire, right? I know. And then there was one year I was a pop star because I love Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera, and I wanted to be them both. And my mom like stapled like feather boas to my sparkly glitter jeans because that was a thing growing up, glitter jeans. And I wish they would come back because I want a pair still.
No, we don't.
Oh yeah. What about you? I want to know little Mac costumes. Oh my god.
um, I'm blanking on a lot of them.
Same.
I remember two in particular. One time I went as Shrek. I was a really young kid, like 5.
Yes.
So I had the mask and everything for
Ooh,
Shrek.
donkey.
And then the other costume that I vividly remember was I was a winged Grim Reaper. So, you know, dressed up in the bones and
Have a scythe?
I had a giant pair of wings on my
Yes!
back, and I had a scythe.
Yes!
And it was one of the years I was trick or treating at my friend's neighborhood, and there was somebody there who had a speaker in their front lawn, and they could speak into it using a microphone. And so we were walking by it, and we just heard, "Hey, you with the wings! Hey, you with the wings!" It was just one of those moments where everybody turned around like, "What the fuck?" and, and that was one of my really fun moments, and we got to talk to the dude that was voicing the little speaker, so that was fun.
I think it's funny that he's saying, like, "Hey, you with the wings," because it's Halloween and, like, there's bound to be a lot of people wearing wings. So they're like, "It's talking to me? Is it
No,
me?"
no, it was so perfectly timed that it had to be towards me and no one else, because we were the only people walking by, and we were just like, "What?"
That's so funny. Oh, I forgot. So as a kid, I actually really loved 101 Dalmatians. That's actually still one of like my favorite Disney movies. So I was a Dalmatian, I think, for 4 years straight as a kid. And I would like want a Dalmatian so bad, and I wanted to be one. And that, yeah. My first costume, my mom dressed me up as a pumpkin. And I'm like, God, Ma, like I'm already basic enough. I was a pumpkin.
A pumpkin.
My mom was like, "You were cute," and then I was a devil. So my mom, I didn't know what my mom thought of me.
Oh,
Either
at
I
least you
was,
got one right.
yeah, I was a devil child. I was like, "Thanks, mom, thanks." She's like, "It's cute."
I don't know about that. That seems kind of weak though, repeating costumes year after year.
I was a
Like,
kid, okay, and I wanted.
but still, that falls on the parenting. Falls on the parenting. I don't know if you should be repeating costumes.
No, okay, no, it was it. I think my mom got tired of it, and then that. I remember the final year, she was like, I think my mom was like, "Pick something else." I was like, "Mermaid," and she's like, "Finally." I love being a mermaid. My mom, she made like she made the costume for me. It was cool. She made the tail and everything. But I don't know if this sounds kind of weird. I don't know if I want to get into it. But she made like it was like a tan turtleneck, so like skin tone, and she put
Hmm.
shells, you know? And I was like, "Oh my god."
Oh lordy.
I got this. I was so excited. And my mom's like, "Stop touching them." I was
Oh man.
and I was in kindergarten, so I'm walking around, and because during that time, kids can wear their costumes, touching, and I got to lead the line. It was like a Halloween parade. Kids are in their costumes and get to walk around. And I'm holding onto my teacher's hand and still going like, "This is crazy."
Oh boy.
Yeah, I should have been on medication very early on.
Did you ever have any fails trick or treating? Like, were there any moments where everything just went wrong?
Oh,
I had a very
I need to know.
fail worthy moment in
Tell
high
me.
school.
Tell me. High school,
So
of course.
yeah, and this kind of boils into the question I want to ask after that. But yeah, I was supposed to meet up with some friends uh in a neighborhood, near our high school. So I went. My phone was part way to dying. I never found them.
That's never good.
I never found them. And
Oh,
then my phone died, and I had a little hand crank flashlight radio that I had to use to find my way to the bus stop to ride the bus home.
I love it. I could just imagine you cranking it. A little SOS. Help.
I just had the radio on just to have something to listen to, because it was like it was like 8:30 at night,
Oh
and there
my
was another bus for another hour. So
oh
just
god.
sat at the bus stop alone, cranking the crank radio.
Why why like
And
as a
if the people that I was supposed to meet up are listening to it, I still haven't forgiven you.
Mac, I will never leave you cranking a radio by yourself. But that is so funny. As an adult, I look back at my, like, really embarrassing moments or fails or mistakes, and, like, I just kinda think to myself, it's not a wonderful world, and also, uh, it's funny. I don't know, like, you can just laugh at yourself, right? You can just have a laugh at it. Ha ha ha.
It's better to laugh than to be angry. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah, totally. So, I mean, I'm still salty, so
That's your whole personality, though.
I'm sweet and salty. That's who I am, and I own it. Okay?
You-
Okay.
you-
I wanna ask you, because I feel like you're gonna ask me, but I wanna ask you, how old is too old for trick or treating?
I'm gonna say once you get to high school, that's pretty much too old. Like like the story I was just telling you, I think that was sophomore year. That's probably the absolute cutoff line. Like once you hit 16, that's it, man. Pack it in. Trick or treating is off the table for you.
Buy your own candy or
Buy-
steal from the candy bowl.
yeah, buy your own candy. Get your parents to buy you candy. Just no. That's party range. Like once you get to 16, that's when you start going to parties and stuff. So
I wouldn't know. I didn't go to any parties at 16.
well, neither did I. But
I would always hear about them in class, like, "Oh, that party was, I forgot what was a cool term, slapping or cracking, or it was one of those." Um, or no, 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 my favorite one was like, "That was wet," and I'm like, "Huh, what is that?"
it
I
was
don't wanna know.
slapping and cracking.
And I think it was wet. That was wet. That looks wet, and I'm like, "Oh god." But anyway,
Oh,
so yeah,
people still use wet today. So
people still use that? Oh
yeah.
gosh, I'm showing my age. Oh no. Oh no. I'm having a midlife crisis right now. Okay, I'm gonna laugh through it. Laugh through the pain, Ashley. You always do that. Okay. For me, I agree. I think high school, like, or like, if you are gonna trick or treat in high school, dress up. I had so many people. When I had to give out candy was in high school, and they'll just show up with a backpack and be like, "Fill her up," and I'm like, no, I go to high school with you, dude. Like,
What's your costume? Oh, I'm a high schooler.
yeah. I'm like, really? Yeah, I remember just slamming the door in their faces because I'm an asshole.
Hmm. I
At
don't think
times.
I've ever turned anybody away from trick or treating unless we ran out of candy. But yeah, fortunately I haven't had any, what look to be 16 or 17-year-olds coming up to the door asking for candy. So there's
I
that.
But it's like they're so mean. They don't even say trick or treat. They're like, fill her up, fill this fucking Dora the Explorer backpack up. I'm just like, did you just steal your little sister's backpack and just dumped all the like contents out and was like, I'm using this, and run out and just start asking for candy?
Man, you gotta make do with what you have.
I was like, what? I was so confused and angry, and I wanted the candy for myself, so I was like, I'm done. Bye. um, oh my god. Oh, I know. You mentioned fails earlier, and I don't think I answered that, but I have a funny slash fail slash just hope people listen to this and be happy that they're not Ashley, and they're better than me, and which you guys are. Okay, so the year was, I forgot what year it was when I was 21. A long time ago. And and
Yeah, the
so
Stone
I
Age, yeah.
in the Stone Age, we used lanterns instead of electricity. Um, yeah, no, no, no. So, I just turned 21, and everyone who has turned 21 really just wants to drink everything. They don't even have you just anything with alcohol in it, you're like, "I'll do it," because that's just, you have to get out of your system, and I was one of those people. So it was my first Halloween with alcohol. And so my cousin Ashley, yeah, there's two Ashleys in my family. We'll explain that later. But she's my older cousin, and she invited me to Cal Expo. They were having like a big haunted house thing. So I was like, yeah, cool. We'll just do that. So she got a hotel room, and she gave me like this drink in a solo cup, and I drank it, and then I was like, "What the hell was that?" And it was like Smirnoff raspberry and Mountain Dew. But I was like, "I'll do it. I'll plow through it." So we were drunk by the time we got there. We got an Uber, and they dropped us off, and I was drunk. I was a drunk pinup. That was my costume. I was a pinup girl, and I was drunk as hell. Uh, and so we're waiting in this long ass line to get into the place, you know, and this like because they have people who scare you. They have like, those actors that come up to you and snarl. So this army dead man, little boy, came up to me. I mean, he's not little. He was like, I don't know, in high school. And he started going to my face and, snarling. And I said, "Look, buddy, you got to buy me dinner first." And I'm very stumbling. And the poor guy was shocked. He was like, "Oh my, what?" And I scared the actor.
So you tried to come on to an actor in a haunted house is what I'm getting at.
I was trying to defend myself. I was not coming on to anybody. He was coming on to me. He got in my bubble. Anyway, so I'm pumped. I'm drunk, and I'm like, "We're gonna go to haunted houses, but first, I need more alcohol." So I found like this guy who was dressed up like a Michael Jackson zombie guy. And it was like weird. Like it was like and he was like trying to get everybody to come. He's like, "We're gonna do the Thriller, everybody. We're gonna do the Thriller." But I was like, "Okay, huh, excuse me." I'm very intoxicated. I'm like, "Where is the beer? And where can I get some alcohol?" And he was like, "Oh, honey, we don't have that here." Like, and I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm disappointed too. Don't trust me." And so then I was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "We're gonna do a Thriller." And I kind of like looked around, and I realized like, oh my god, the only adults other than my cousin and I are like parents with their teenage kids. And then I realized, oh my god, like this is meant for teenagers. Like, what are we doing here? So I made the most of it. I drunkenly did the Thriller, which I didn't even do it. I just waited for the part where you put your hands in the claws, and then you go to the left, you go to
You
the right.
didn't know how to do any of the other stuff, I'm guessing, huh?
Yeah, I don't dance. Well, I dance, but not well. I dance. I just do my own thing, okay? And I so lastly, my cousin and I stumbled finally to one of the haunted houses, the main one, and it was a Bloody Mary one. And now, we're getting a little sober, so um I was kind of scared. I'm a big scaredy cat. I'm not one to I'm a big I even watching a scary movie, I'm like, "Oh my god." I'm scared. Patrick, turn on all the lights. I'm sleeping in the light tonight. Back to this haunted house. So we get there, it's hella spooky. There's a bunch of like actors who are in black hair, pale makeup, and wearing like a fucking moo. All of them were wearing like moo. So I was like, I was terrified. I never thought a moo would be so fucking terrifying. So one in particular, so my cousin is like behind me and I'm in front. And so we're like kind of like, not walking very fast. We're kind of like scuffling along. You're right. We're like inching away towards the hallway. And this lady was like stuck, or she was like I don't know, like against the wall. And she had black hair and in a moo, of course, a fucking moo, like a floral moo. And she like turned her head towards us and started walking in our direction. Well, my cousin, drunk and also terrified, she's chicken shit like me, pushed me into the actress and runs away. And she runs away, and I don't know where she went, and I'm stuck, and I don't know what to do. This lady who's, I think, Bloody Mary, or I don't know, this moo, she just looks at me, and I look at her, and I applaud her for just staying in character and just kind of going back into the corner in the dark and just wait for the next victim, you know?
Hey man, I have to applaud your cousin here real quick. That sounds like fantastic survival instincts. Remember, they don't have to catch you; they only have to catch the slowest person in the group. So she
I'm
did the
not
wise
even
thing there.
I was pissed. I was like, what am I doing? And then I have the actors, I'm trying to backtrack. They're like, no, keep going to your death. They're trying to like tell me what to do. And I said, listen. No, I'm scared. I don't know what to do. I'm getting, I'm in a house or whatever full of ladies and moo-moos. Get me the fuck out of here. So I finally actually stumbled to like they have haunted houses. If you don't know this already, have exits throughout. So if you're too chicken shit like me, you run out. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I run out and there's my cousin pointing and laughing at me, and I was like, in my head, I was like, you fucking like what the hell? But then we just started laughing because it was just such a funny experience. Like yeah. So yeah, don't take my cousin to a haunted house. She will sacrifice you.
Well, you just got to get the jump on him. Now that I know that, if we all go together, I know who to get rid of first and
Not me.
second.
I have great survival instincts, okay? Like
Mm,
I
mm.
I know that moss grows like on the side of the rock and that's where land is or something.
Listen, all I know is we've played Left 4 Dead together, and you go down a lot.
I don't want to talk about video games with you. I don't want to talk about video games with your ass. Hell no.
Oh, I can't wait for the Rocket League podcast. I got so much ammo for that.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
I still got the replay saved of Rocket League,
No,
but
you
that's for
don't.
another time.
No one needs to know how great I am at Rocket League.
Great. That
Yeah,
was
great.
far from the word I was going to use. But staying on the haunted house issue, I've never really been to a haunted house. I've always wanted to go, but the thing is, like, I would want to go with friends, and with my proximity right now to a lot of my friends, it's not really something that's possible. I feel like I'm really scary at some points. Like, if I'm outside at night, I get to the car faster and stuff. But
Yep.
I feel like I could survive a haunted house. Haunted movies aren't really my thing. It's scary movies and such, but I think I could survive.
I can see you surviving. I didn't know that you would be scared. Like for me, yeah, like I'm the scaredy cat. I cannot see you being scared at all.
Yeah,
Like
I'd probably suffer silently. I think.
we all do.
Yeah, just if you learn to deal with it inwardly, then you go through life.
That's healthy.
No, it's not, but it's what I do.
Oh my god. Okay. All right. The time has come, Mac. It's time to yell at each other about
Yep,
our
it's time to
candy.
be eternally disappointed in you for
Uh,
the rest of
I'm
my
just
life.
what? Oh no. Let's just it's like a bandage. Just rip it off. Just rip it off.
Time for us to get into our candy rankings.
Woo!
We're gonna go over the top 5 best and top worst candies. And remember, these are our personal opinions. So while mine will be right and Ashley's will be wrong,
No,
everybody in the audience, everybody listening to this may think differently. So
okay.
but we welcome conversation. So if you want to chat at us, make sure to follow us at Snackcasters on Instagram and Twitter, and make sure to tell us how right or wrong we are.
Nice plug. I like it.
Gotta get it in there, man.
I'm so proud of you. Okay, all right, you go first.
Okay, I'm gonna start in descending order. Yeah, so I'm gonna start with 5 on. We're gonna start with. We're gonna start with the best. So
okay, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, number 5 on my list is Starburst. I love Starburst just for some reason, man. It's fruity candy, especially the pink ones, strawberries, orange. They're all good. I love Starburst, man.
Ew, you like the yellow one?
I like them all.
Ugh.
I like certain ones more than others. I think yellow's probably towards the lower end of the Starburst scale, but it's still eatable. Edible is the word I meant, not eatable.
I'll take eatable.
Moving on, I'm gonna go for number 4. I got Kit Kats.
Yes.
Love Kit Kats. There's gonna be a lot of classic stuff on this list. Number 3 for me, Snickers. Snickers. I think is classic candy bar. You know, got the chocolate and the nougat and the peanuts and the caramel. It all works so well together. And there's a reason why a lot of candy you get on Halloween is Snickers. Number 2, I'm going to go with Skittles. Yeah, continuing my love of just fruity stuff. And number 1 for me, my all-time favorite candy bar, and the best thing I like to get on Halloween, Twix. I love Twix bars.
Oh my god. I feel like my list is kind of like I don't even want to talk about my list. So I guess like mine's not in any particular order because I have to admit I just wrote this on a sticky note before you sent me the link to our squadcast, but
Yes, I'm aware.
it's been a busy week. Okay. All right. So they're not really in order, but here we go. 1, I hate almonds, but for some reason, almond joys are so good to me. Yeah, I know. I can feel people go like, ew. But but let me tell you, almond joys are so good. What I do is I throw out the almond and just eat the coconut. That's
So why
yeah.
don't you get mounds?
We discussed this before. So I like trail mix, but I just eat M&M's.
I don't understand why you like putting yourself through the extra step of taking a part of the candy out when you could just buy the variant that doesn't have what you like in it.
No. I need a challenge. Okay. Reese's. I love Reese's. Like I love them. They're so good. My favorite are like the mini ones, like the mini ones are so good to me. I just oh, it's such a classic to me and like oh yeah. And this one's so funny. Mac mentioned this earlier that he does not like Milky Ways. But I love me like the midnight Milky Ways with the marshmallow and the caramel and the dark chocolate. It is delicious and amazing. And you never really see it, but when you do, you get really excited about it. And then of
Just to
course
clarify, I don't hate Milky Ways. I just think they're not Three Musketeers are ahead of Milky Ways.
Oh, Three Musketeers is also delicious, and I almost put that on the list. But alas, I put Snickers, classic. You gotta have it. You're not you when you're hungry. And Skittles. I want to talk about Skittles real quick. I know that this episode's a little long, but I just have to say, like, Skittles is savage because there was this. Excuse me, they have this zombie Skittle thing. Have you heard of these zombie Skittles?
I have not.
Okay. Oh, you're in for a little treat. I even thought about us trying these together because that's mean. It's fucked up. So, they have these Skittles, and so they're like regular Skittles, but one of them or a few of them actually like tastes like they tried to emulate the taste of human flesh. I don't know what human flesh tastes like, but it's probably sounds like gross.
So it's
Maybe
like the
rotten.
Bean Boozled thing.
Oh, it's like Harry Potter, honey. Like those Harry Potter jelly beans. Just ruining children's trust issues even further. Like
I
so
didn't even think of jelly beans when formulating my worst list, but I don't think it would knock off anything I have, so.
Oh yeah, I have yeah. Oh, we're going to get into the worst list because I know I got a few that you're not going to like.
Yeah, why don't you go first on the worst list since I know you're going to disappoint me.
Okay, not disappoint you, enlighten you, homeboy. Okay, number 1, Pixie Sticks. Why in the fuck do you exist, Pixie Sticks? Why in the hell it's sugar in paper and then
What more do you need?
be more like I don't know. I just think that's ridiculous. It's like that is like the so half-ass. It's multicolored sugar. There you go. That's there you go, That's it. That's all you need, I guess. I'm gonna make this on top of my head. Okay. I hate having Twizzlers. I'm a huge like red licorice fan. Like I love red vines, but fuck you, Twizzlers. And I don't understand. I don't like them. It tastes like plastic to me. Just go. I'm so angry. Sorry. I don't know. Let's see what else. Butterscotch. Bleh. And then I really don't like. I guess my fourth like candy. I'll eat them. I'll suffer through it. But those little strawberry candies that you always seem to get, the wrapper looks like a strawberry.
Yep.
You'll get disappointed that they're in your bag, but you're kind of like, huh? I'll just eat that.
Comment at the old folks' home. Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry. And oh yeah, Necco wafers. Sorry, I can't talk.
Necco wafers. Yes.
Those are the worst. And that concludes my list.
You know, I'm not as biased against Necco wafers as you might think. They're not terrible. They're not good, but they're not terrible.
That's a lot in life. Necco wafers. I can't say that, but it teaches you about life.
I'm going to make an emergency change to my worst list because I just thought of it. My number 5 worst is a tie between Mary Jane and Bit O' Honey. Because it's the old candy. Those are the kind of candies you get with strawberries and the Necco wafers and stuff. If you don't know, look it up online. You'll instantly recognize the packaging of it when you see it. But those are tied for number 5 because I don't really remember them. I just know I don't like them. Number 4, I have Good and Plenty. Again, don't really remember what those taste like. I just know when everything else was gone, that was all that was left, and so that was never all that good to me. Number 3 and number 1, I gotta really disappoint my dad because he's been eating these a lot recently. Number 3, circus peanuts. No way, no how, no dice. Circus peanuts are trash.
What the hell?
They're trash. I hate circus peanuts.
What? No, I'm just shocked that people would give kids peanuts.
Well, people are giving kids pennies and dental floss. So what's to stop them from giving them circus peanuts?
That is so shady. Okay, give me your
Number 2.
Number 2.
Black licorice. Disgusting. Tastes like medicine. Why does it exist? Who knows? But black licorice is number 2. And
I want to see the world burn. Sorry, go ahead.
And number 1, we all saw this one coming from me, especially if you listen to the teaser. Candy corn. Worst candy out there. It should not exist. It should not be given to children. It should not be served in stores. There should be no candy corn at any point during the year. Candy corn is terrible. It's disgusting. And it's a dark spot on life.
Wow, that's a lot to unpack there.
I hate a lot of things with a passion. Candy corn is one of them. It's like if you've ever seen Sean Spicer's tweets on Dippin' Dots, that's how I feel about candy corn.
Dippin' Dots. That's another thing I don't get. I'm like, just get fucking ice cream. But
I understood it when I was younger because it's more portable and
it's more
novelty.
Fun. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, but they're fucking expensive. They don't get very much. Anyway, candy corn. Okay. I have a hard time because it's such a childhood thing. Like I never really enjoyed eating them, but I just like they're cute. I got really excited one year. Candy corn came out with like a pumpkin version, so it was like a little pumpkin, and I thought that was so fucking adorable. It didn't taste very great, but it was still really cute.
That's the story of life right there.
Oh yeah, I feel like candy makers are teaching kids lessons that they don't know about until you get older, and then you're like, oh, I get it. I have to suffer.
Life is suffering, and then it may get better.
Yeah. But when you get the good candy, then like those are the sweet moments.
You suffer through the candy corn to get the Skittles.
Unless it's the zombie Skittles, then watch out.
Unless it's that or the jelly beans. Don't fall for the jelly beans either. Those almost made the list, but they didn't.
Jelly beans. But are you talking about the Harry Potter ones?
I'm just talking about jelly beans in general. I just don't like jelly beans.
Oh, come on, man. You know, when I say jelly, you say...
Bleh.
love that dang factory. I love wearing the hat. I like going on the little tour. I love eating a bunch of jelly beans on the tour. And that's like, oh god, I'm like such a kid. Anyway.
I think I've been to the tour on the factory. It still doesn't increase my hate. Still doesn't change the way I feel about jelly beans. So
Mac, people make art through jelly beans. How can you? Just the respect there, man.
I think making art with nasty food is the only good use for that. So that's what we should be using instead of beans. You know how in my school we had to make like mass with beans and such, beans and lentils. It's just use candy corn instead. It's just as edible, and that way it actually serves a good purpose.
Just cute, shitty art.
Yeah, at least you get something out of it that way.
That's actually not a bad idea. I kind of like that. Mac, I know that you thought, oh, Ashley probably doesn't have a pun. And you're so grateful.
Well, you know, I was secretly hoping you wouldn't, but
I know. But
it's always that negative part of my mind that thinks she'll come through with one.
Oh yeah. But no, actually I didn't come through with it. Someone else did.
And that makes it all the more depressing.
I'm so happy. Okay, Mac and I know him. Gabe Carlos. You're my boy. He was part of our newspaper, you know, back in the day, back in the before times. Anyway, it's not really a joke. It's kind of like a pun. So here it goes. So I asked, you know, on social media, like, hey, give me your Halloween pun. So he said, an emotional roller ghoster. Insert laughing now.
You know, I think we had a unfortunate technical error in the editing, so there wasn't any laughter included for that. I'm really sorry to the listeners there. We'll make sure to get that fixed for next time.
You can't see me right now, but like the face, I'm giving the face of I will murder you face. My eyes are squinting.
I get those threats every other week. It's no big deal. You learn to ignore them. And with that, I think that's going to bring this episode of Snack Time with Mack and Ash to a close. We want to thank you for listening, and we want to make sure that you give a listen to all the other podcasts on the Be Heard platform. Make sure to check them out on Twitter at Be Heard Platform, and wherever you get podcasts on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get podcasts, make sure to check everybody out. And we'll see you in 2 weeks for the next episode of Snack Time with Mack and Ash.
Everyone, happy Halloween, and please be safe. We will see you next time.